What's up everyone, it's Natalie here, and today I am filming a Q&A. I really love filming these. The last time I filmed this was about 2 months ago, and I just feel like it's a great way to just let you guys in and let you know that I listen to your questions, I read all your questions, and it's just a great place to kind of put it all out there. But before we did get into today's Q&A, I did want to thank Audible for sponsoring today's video. If you guys don't know what Audible is, it is the best way to listen to audiobooks. It is the best way personally to actually consume books because it is so easy, and it's one of those things that you can do when you're commuting, when you're on the subway, when you're on the train, when you're walking, whatever it is, when you're working out, you can do it. So it's a great way to multitask. But the reason why I love Audible is because, like I said, you can multitask and I still feel like I am learning. It just motivates me and I like learning. I honestly miss learning, so the way I do that is through audiobooks and podcasts as well. I feel like I'm actually benefiting myself and growing as like a person in life and in business, and I'm still multitasking. I highly recommend you guys listen to on Audible is The Defining Decade. Oh my gosh, it is so good, and especially for us in our 20s, it changed the way I view things. It also made me feel like I am on track and I'm fine, but also if not, it just puts things in perspective, and it is so beneficial. So you guys can actually start your trial with Audible, listen to one audiobook or two Audible originals, and you guys can text Natalie Barbu to 500 or go to audible.com/Natalie Barbu. You can listen on any device. Thank you Audible for sponsoring today's portion of the video. Alright guys, now we're into the Q&A. Let's see what we have here. I asked you guys on Instagram. As you guys know, I always ask on Instagram, and I'm gonna go through and look at all the questions that you guys seemed to ask me. I haven't looked at any of these questions beforehand, so they might be like out of order, but I'm just gonna go down the list. What was the deciding factor in quitting your job? If you guys don't know, I feel like lately I've been getting so many more questions about quitting my corporate job. I almost quit a whole year ago, so it's been kind of a while. I quit in May. I actually put my notice in April, but like I didn't stop until the end of May. But really, I have a whole video on like why I quit my job. But I really just was getting very stressed, very anxious. It wasn't what I wanted to do at all. I had like no future in it. Like it wasn't like, oh, I was in like marketing and I really liked it and I could have seen myself working in it, but I just decided to do my own thing or anything like that. Like I was in a field that I had no interest in, and I was making more money on YouTube. I was overwhelmed with YouTube work, and I kind of was like half doing YouTube, half doing my corporate job, and I wanted to devote all my time to YouTube and also building my other businesses as well. So yeah, I decided to quit, and it was the best decision I ever made. Definitely do not regret it. Please watch my I quit my job video to like actually hear like all my thoughts on it, because this was such a one sentence version. I don't encourage other people to quit their jobs. I think everyone's situation is different, and I don't think everyone definitely don't think everyone should quit their jobs, so I just want to make that known. But if you want like my whole rundown on it, definitely watch that video. Someone asked me, how do I save money? Do you do a percentage each time you get paid? No. So I used to actually do a percentage. Now I have a financial advisor, so he takes out a certain amount each month on how much we are trying to save. So each month I take out that amount. It's not a percentage, it's just like a flat rate right now at least, and then it'll increase as I make more money. But right now, as long as I have that to put into like my financial advisor savings account, then I'm good. So I just make sure that I have that like bare minimum amount. But if I think it's a percent, it's probably like 30 or 40% is what I save. If you could go back to college, would you change your major? So if you guys don't know, I was an industrial engineering major. No, I wouldn't change it. I think that I have learned a lot of like the business side of things, not only through my major, but through like just doing my own work and like learning online and learning on YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that. I feel like it's really easy to educate yourself now without an actual formal education. I'm not saying that formal education isn't needed, because I definitely would not. I definitely like am so glad that I went to college and got my degree, but I don't think that it's like you have to be stuck in your major. Like if you want to do something and explore something that's outside of your major, there's ways to learn about that field and ways to educate yourself about that field. So I learned a lot in my major. I think it really helped me grow as a person, and I do think in general there should be more women that go into STEM fields, so I'm actually really happy that I did it. I definitely would not change it. How long do you see yourself living in New York City? Honestly, like until I have kids probably. I literally never want to leave. I love this place, and I'm like, is having kids here that bad? Like, I want like a house when I have kids, so I probably won't live here when I have kids, and it is really expensive to like actually buy, and I do want to buy something one day, but I see myself living here for a long time. What is the top advice you have for someone starting a business? Okay, this is super broad. I feel like it totally depends on the business, but really is, like I was saying, to educate yourself educate yourself on how to start a business in general. Listen to a ton of podcasts, look up stuff. I have Skillshare that I'll like look up, take random courses on, really get to know your field, look at other people in your field, other businesses in your field, and see how they got to where they are. I think it's just taking a lot of time to educate yourself and also coming up with long-term plans, because you might want to start your business and like start it right away and be impulsive. But really, I think that you don't need a business plan necessarily, but you should kind of have some like long-term plans. And how are you going to make money? How is this going to grow? Is this actually feasible? Thinking of like logistics like that, and if it requires like a lot of labor, like thinking about the timing that it takes to do everything. So I think I would just like really educate yourself on the business that you're trying to go into and look at other people who are in it currently. LA or NYC? New York, of course. Someone asked if I'm going to Coachella. I'm literally answering the most random questions. I am not going to Coachella unless like a brand happens to send me last minute, but I'm not going to Coachella. I thought the lineup this year was garbage, so I just was like, I'm not gonna spend money on that. I went the past 2 years and it was so much fun, and I just went with my friends and it was so great. And the first year that I went, it was the headliners were like Beyonce, The Weeknd, and Eminem, and it was like the best Coachella experience of my life. Like it was the best weekend of my life. And then the second weekend that I went, like the last year when I went, it was fine. Like it was fun and it was really fun, but like I thought the lineup was eh. And then this year I just think the lineup is absolute trash. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go. And I feel like people get like so offended when you say like a lineup is bad. Like this is just my personal taste in music. Don't come at me. You might think 2 years ago was trash, and that's fine. Like it's just my personal take. Someone asked if I would ever go back to corporate. I would never go back on my own choice. Like if I don't have any money anymore and I like need a stable job, absolutely, but not willingly. Like I wouldn't like want to go back. Do YouTubers typically have a personal Insta account and a public influencer account? Some of them do. I don't have like a Finsta or anything like that, but I know a lot of YouTubers have like fake Twitters and fake Instagrams that they like just like post things that maybe they don't want everyone else to see. I have close friends on my Snap or on my Instagram story, and my Snapchat isn't public anymore, but I don't ever post anything that like I don't care for you guys to see. Like sometimes it's just more specific, like I don't want to give away like where I live or something, so I'll post in my close friends or something like that. But yeah, most people I've noticed have close friends now, unless I'm just like not at it. Like I don't follow any like Finsta accounts at all. Any tips on moving to New York? I have a whole video on it, but really save a lot of money. It cost me, I'm just gonna tell you up front, it cost me like $8,000 to just move here. Like broker's fees, first month's rent, security deposit, all of that, all those fees. It was $8,000 alone. So that's not including furniture, like not including shopping for things, not including transportation or anything like that. It was just like, here's the apartment. So save a lot of money, and obviously you don't have to do a broker's fee. You can find a much cheaper place. So I'm not saying everyone's gonna be $8,000. I definitely think that's on the higher side, but it's just saving a lot of money because a lot of things add up that you don't really realize. So I would say moving here, like having like a solid $10,000 or like $5,000 to $10,000 before you actually move here, that you can like willingly spend on rent and security deposits and furniture and all of that stuff. I would say between 5 to 10. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I could be so off. That's just with my own experience. I really want to do a video kind of like consulting, like my consulting video where I asked 3 of my friends for their answers. I want to do one on New York City, like what's it like living in New York, and having you guys ask questions and then having all of them answer. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. But yeah, definitely save money. It's expensive here. What are the negative side effects to YouTube? Okay, I think the biggest side effect for me is that people make assumptions about you. People make assumptions about you that they just have no idea who you are as a person, and based on other people, they'll make assumptions about you. Or people will just assume things because they saw a 5-minute clip in your video and they make this whole long thing about it. You know, it's just, I've seen so many theories about different people on social media, and I'm just like, you don't even know them. Like, you literally don't know them. You have no idea, and like, that kind of bothers me, and just feeling like everyone has an opinion on you. Yes, I put my videos online. I know people are gonna have opinions on me, but feeling the need to like share those opinions online too, and it's everyone's right to do that. It is just a negative side effect for sure. Like, I think no one can sit here and be like, oh yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Like, it definitely doesn't bother me as much as it could, or as much as it used to. To sit here and say that a negative comment has never affected me, or negative comments have never affected me, is a total lie, because they do, and I'm a human behind the screen, you know. Like, just picture if people were saying that about you. And a lot of times people would never tell you this in person, they just say it behind a username, and YouTube is even easier because it's not like I can click on your profile and like find out who you are. That's why like Instagram, I don't really get any hate, but YouTube is a lot, because like I can't like see who you are. So that is definitely negative, but I have gotten a lot better about it, developed thicker skin, and I'm not gonna lie though, that is definitely a negative side effect, and I'll be honest with you, it does get to me sometimes. Is living in New York really what it's being shown as? Example, a dream. I mean, to everyone it's gonna be different. Like, I can't say yes or no, because for me, it has been my dream for so long. Are there negatives? Absolutely, as there are with literally any city that you move to. But for me, it's a dream. For someone else, it might be a nightmare. So it just depends. I don't glamorize it. Like, I really do love it here. Like, I feel like I am very happy here. I'm glowing here. I'm like thriving here, and I'm always happy when I'm in the city, and that's just my personal take. And I've gotten comments that's like, you're making it like so glamorous, and it's really not. And it's like, listen, for my situation, and like, I really like living here. Of course there's negatives, but this has been my dream for so long that I like choose not to look at the negatives, whereas other people might hate it here, and they're only here because of a job, they're only here because of family, they're only here because they have to, they're stuck in a lease or something like that, and they're miserable. So it just totally depends on who you are. How did you find time to work on YouTube while working full-time? I've actually got this question a lot lately. If you guys want to look back at my old like work week in my life, totally feel free, but it's definitely unsustainable in the long term. But I would just work before work, after work, and then during my lunch break, and then on the weekends. So just make time anywhere you can. Your social life is gonna kind of be hindered, definitely. But those are the sacrifices you make if you do want to work for yourself, do this full time, whatever that might look like if you are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And there's no other way. Like, we only physically have so many hours in a week, and you need to sleep. I am a huge proponent of sleep. I don't know who told you that 3 hours of sleep is cute or fine, but it's not. I like getting my 8 hours, like, always. So I definitely like didn't sacrifice sleep as much, but I sacrificed the social life. Like, I didn't really have friends in North Carolina. I had my high school friends that I grew up with that I loved, but that was it. Like, it was like 2 friends, and that was it. I didn't really have other friends that I saw ever, and even them, like, I saw my roommate because I lived with her, but the other girls, like, I didn't see ever. So I definitely, like, that hurt a lot. Hardest thing about being an influencer. I think, okay, with every job there are going to be like bad things and good things. I think the hardest thing was kind of like the negative side effect, everyone having an opinion on you, and also just coming up with ideas. Like, everything's been so overdone. I feel like none of my content is original, but trying to find a way to make it my own, I think, is definitely the best way to do it. And also time management is huge, because if you are an influencer, you're typically working for yourself, and time management is just a big thing. Like, right now I am behind on life, you guys. Someone has asked if it was financially hard to live in New York. I was very prepared for it. I saved a lot. I knew I was moving here. I definitely saved a lot of money, and I was very realistic with the amount that New York would cost. So I think I was totally fine, but now I definitely like make sure I'm not spending too much money on certain things. I really track my spending, and it's just one of those things that even though I'm fine living here, I don't want to have like lifestyle creep where it's like, oh, I'm making more so I can spend more. So I definitely am more like conscious about my spending than I was in North Carolina. Someone asked if I have a core group of friends or if I'm just friends with a bunch of people individually. I have never heard such a specific question that is like so relatable to me. I don't have a group of friends. Like, I don't have a friend group anymore. In high school I had a friend group, and then in college kind of had a friend group, and then now I don't have a friend group. I just have a lot of individual friends. Like, I'm friends with my roommates, I'm friends with like my friend Maddie, I'm friends with YouTubers individually, I'm friends with Julie, but none of us are in a group together. Like, I have brought some of them in a group together. Like, I did a YouTuber brunch. That was fun. I did like, me and my friend Maddie, my roommate, and Julie all went to like apple picking, and that's fun. But like, those are like my individual friends, and then I kind of bring them together, but it's not like we have a friend group where we have a group message and we go brunch all the time. My goal living here is to have one of those Sex and the City friend groups where we get brunch every Tuesday or whatever and just sit and chat and are best friends and like family. Like that is what I want here, and I don't have that. So that's something that's kind of hard, not feeling like I have a friend group, like just having individual friends, because I feel like when you don't have a friend group, it's hard to like open up and like talk to people about certain things, because I'm like, I don't want to annoy you, I don't want to bother you. But like a friend group, it's just easier because everyone's kind of talking and everyone's sharing and feeling like venting, and I just don't have that, and I wish I did. Someone asked what my Enneagram is. Comment down below what you think it is. Sometimes when I take the test I'm a 3, and then other times when I take the test I'm a 7. I think it's 7 or 8. The one that's like impulsive and spontaneous, and I'm definitely that one. Like I've like read the descriptions for all of them. 100% that one. Like not, I think I'm like sometimes a 3, but I'm not as like success driven as I am impulsive. I think I'm just so impulsive. I think really that's like what it is. Like I'm a very hard worker, but I want to do a million things at once. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you Audible for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. I hope this was a cute casual Q&A.